it's Webs here with the first deck for the new Hearthstone set, Sunken City, and this deck might shock you. We're revisiting a fan favorite card from years past, Reno Jackson, who is rotating back in with the new core set. I figured the best home for him right now, at least in Hunter, would be Questline Hunter, just because of the fact that you can run so many one-off cards to actually trigger the questline and not lose that much consistency. Basic idea behind the deck is you're playing a more control style version of Questline Hunter, so you do have alternate win strategies and other powerful cards that a normal Questline Hunter might not play, such as the Stalker Tavish, which will allow you to actually win matches where minions are a lot more important than just doing direct damage with spells. Queen Azara, which will allow you to do even more burst damage depending on what treasure that you actually decide to choose, or even a big finisher in the form of Alexstrasza. So this could be easily replaced with Malygos. For the Mulligan guide of this deck, you are basically looking for two types of cards. Ones that will draw you into more cards that will do damage, or cards that will do damage so you can clear out some early game threats, or just do a bunch of face damage to chip away at your opponent. These would include cards like Dragonbane Shot, Explosive Trap, or Quick Shot for examples of early game removal. With that being said, let's go find some games. Alright, time for a game against Priest. We're going to mulligan away Codobane here. The Quick Shot is decent. You might mulligan it away too. It's one of the removal tools that I like to shuffle back into the deck. Getting Aim Shot is really nice though. We have a turn 1, 2, 3, and probably 4 play. And they are questline, so I'm interested to see how Questline Priest actually functions now without having Soul Mirror as their 7-cost card. There's probably some other better support cards they actually got, but it does suck that they did lose their best 7-cost card. What we can use are Arcane Shot to just kill the minion on board, might as well. Okay, they're going to shuffle in a Shard of the Naru. That's not going to matter too much to us just because we don't have too many minions in the deck. We can use Aim Shot here. Go face. Man, I wonder if all these games that I chose, we actually use Tavish for his hero ability instead. I swear you can win through just doing a bunch of damage. You don't need Tavish's upgraded hero power to do so. We can coin out Azara, which is really funny. Gonna probably grab the dagger, though Horn of the Ancients might be decent here also. I prefer choosing the dagger 99% of the time just because it is free damage on our hero. Okay, so they have Holy Nova, which is kind of weird. They can't kill Azara this turn, but we technically can't kill their minion either without wasting something. And I'd rather just waste Azara than any of our spells if we can help it. And they're just going to go face for 1 damage. Okay, there's the Scorpid. We can play the dagger and then just attack into the Tar Creeper using the Scorpid, or we could use the Ice Trap just to prevent our opponent from doing something. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with, but Ice Trap hits a semi-useless spell. Oh, Deadly Shot is actually a pretty good way to deal with that. Well, we're just going to get free damage here. We can get even more free damage if we want, or we could just put the Scorpid down. Grabbing the second Deadly Shot might be the best bet here, though we could grab the Dragonfire Shot, since this should allow us to trigger a few steps of our questline depending on how many minions they actually put down. Okay, there's the Light Shower Elemental. We should be able to deal with that pretty easily. And we haven't done too much damage to their face to even worry about losing 5 damage. We'll draw 2 here, getting the Terror Coil, which is pretty decent. And then we can just go face and then use the Bunker to draw into some additional cards here. Okay, so they have a Forge Fiend. We could use the Tavish here just to see if we can get a Freezing Trap. We could also use Explosive Trap or even Tracking. Yeah, let's see what we get off of the Tavish. I hate to use the Tavish. He's a last-ditch effort card in this deck. But sometimes getting a freezing trap when you actually really need it is really useful. Going to grab a freezing and an ice trap. Then we're going to probably use tracking here, or even just our hero power. It really depends on if we want to use explosive trap too. I'm going to get the legendary Naga. I cannot pronounce that name, and I'm not even going to attempt it. Raj something. Mutanus is not something I want to see, but the nice thing is we don't care too much about it because we don't have our questline reward completed. They are going to trigger the improved ice trap. They cannot cast that Gift of the Naru, can they? That's going to bounce back to the hand, costing 12, which means it's completely dead. We can use our freezing trap here too. See what we discover off this scoundrel. Grabbing the wound prey probably is the best bet here. We can just go face and then use our hero power as our last ditch effort. Or we could also use the dragon shot. It's just free damage, might as well. See what we randomly generate here. Okay, we got a taunt, which is pretty good. Okay, so they attack with the Mutanus and it just dies. Oh, that's not a card I want to see. I'm actually shocked anyone is running that card. I wanted to do something with it, but it seems bad. Okay, they have a Doomsayer. Interesting. Okay, so do we have enough damage in our hand or on the board to just go face and win? That is the true question. We can put down the explosive trap, go face, and we should actually have the damage, especially because of Raj's effect. We're going to kill the lure, which does 4 damage plus 2. And then we do additional damage with quick shot and win the game. Alright, time for a game against Warlock. So there's actually been a lot of Warlock decks floating around, so it's no telling which one this is actually going to be. We're going to mulligan away everything besides the mark shot and our quest line. Actually getting rid of the mark shot just because it's a little bit too expensive of a card. This hand looks a lot better overall, though I would have loved to have another 1-cost card in the hand instead of just having 2 2-costs. Okay, they're going to shuffle in their deck Royal Librarian. I wonder if people are starting to use the tradable cards just as a type of draw engine. I always like the idea behind doing something like that, but it's not probably the best idea in the world. Okay, we're going to put the bunker down. Getting explosive trap. Okay, so they're going to put the cultist down. There's something really funny here. Abyssal Curse actually triggers our quest line, so that's actually really helpful. We're just going to allow that to sit in our hand for a turn. Might as well. And then we're going to kill their minion and place the explosive trap down. I figure I can take an extra 1 damage. We have so much healing in the deck, it isn't even funny. Because if it gets us a step closer to our quest line, I mean, it helps. Okay, they're going to put Curse of Agony in the deck, which turns off Reno Jackson, but it's fine, I guess. There goes the Abyss Curse. There's 1 Agony, which sadly doesn't count. There's a second Agony. Man, what's my luck here? They got shuffled to the top of my deck. Okay, we can coin out something. There's a 3rd Agony. Okay, going to probably grab Queen Azara just because we can trigger her probably next turn. Getting Raj and Wound Prey. Drawing another card. Now, they could, in theory, put another Abyss Curse in our hand. And we almost do have a completely full hand. So as long as they don't put 3 in our hand, which they can't because of room, we should be fine. There's Tavish. Okay, we're going to use Ice Trap just to use it. We're going to use the Terror Coil and then pass the turn back. Okay, Tapsin is going to be pretty annoying to deal with. Actually, no, we have so many ways to deal with her. And as long as we can keep them from shuffling too many cards in our deck, we should be perfectly fine. Okay, there's the mark shot, which actually allows us to deal with it instantly. And I forgot here that the Terror Coil actually made the spell repeat twice, which is my bad, I guess. So we missed the honorable kill there. And now we're just going to pass the turn back. I could use the freezing trap if I really felt like it. The reason I don't use the freezing trap, though, is because then we have some cheap spells to actually use with our questline reward when we complete it. Okay, so they're going to use Zakul. I love Zakul as a character, and the fight in WoW was really fun. And we trigger our questline right here. So thanks to our opponent, we have our questline one turn early. We can still play down the questline reward just because they might have Mutanus, though that probably should have went to their face instead of the Zakul, but oh well. And then we can just use the Abyssal Curse and go face. It's free feel for our questline reward, so might as well. Okay, so they're going to kill their own card. They don't understand. The Abyss Curses just help us out. It's free damage on board. We can put Raj down here if we really feel like it, or we could put down Queen Ajara and then next turn put Raj down. Going to probably grab the dagger. There's a few times where I chose the Colossus minion for one cost, but it really just depends on how far behind you may or may not be, and we're just going to do a lot of face damage here. Most of the time, the dagger is the correct play, though. And they keep drawing into that card. Full-blown evil. It's going to kill Lady Ajara. Kind of ironic, you know, but it is what it is. Giving us another curse. This has to be the worst matchup for that deck. Okay, there's fatigue damage, which can get a little bit scary, especially if we keep drawing into all three copies, even though it's supposed to be shuffled into the deck. Just going to do a bunch of damage and then win the game this turn. Good thing they have the minion on board. Actually, I guess we could have used the Abyss Curse too. And they give up. Alright, time for a game against Mage. So we're going to mulligan away the Terror Coil here. And the Lady Ajara, or Queen Ajara, doesn't really matter. Same difference. Both of which don't actually do anything early game. Getting the Spines is actually a pretty good top deck, especially with a Wound Prey. Especially given the fact this is Mage and it's probably going to be Mech Mage. And if they get the Autonoma actually online early on, we might not have any removal tools that can actually deal with it. That isn't a urgent comboed with a Wounded Prey or something else. We're just going to use our quest line here. Okay, so they are Mech Mage. That shouldn't really shock me. I got my wish when I said I wanted a minion base Mage deck, but I didn't want it to be this good. I thought it would just be meme status, but I guess I was wrong. It's cool to see Mech Mage return after so many years, though. We're going to use tracking to see what we can get here. Going to grab the explosive trap, since it's the best thing we could. We're going to just pass the turn back at this point, too. Okay, so they do have the Atama. So that needs to die instantly, though good news is we do have the Spines plus the Wound Prey. Though we could have also coined out Aim Shot. We're just going to pop the Divine Shield, because why not? We could have also used the Explosive Trap here, just to get rid of both of their minions, but oh well. Okay, so they're going to keep trading that back into their deck. The Amalgam is going to be a little bit annoying. The issue with Mech Mage, in my opinion, is it's just too consistent on generating the cards that you actually want to generate off of it. That's probably what makes it annoying, even if this is only day one meta. I very much doubt that this deck is going to randomly just disappear after day one, since it does feel like one of the more consistent decks of the new set. Okay, so we're just going to Aim Shot the Amalgam, and then we're probably going to coin out Explosive Trap. so we can deal with the 2 minions on board, and if they put any more additional minions down, we'll be able to do 2 damage there too. We also do have the important 4 damaged hero power, so we can instantly remove anything else they might put down that might have enough HP where that matters. They're going to attack, gets rid of their 2 minions, and then they're just going to use their hero power and place the mech shark down. That will instantly die to our hero power. And then we can use either the Scorpid or the Scoundrel. Grabbing the deadly shot is actually pretty good. Means we have some instant removal depending on what minions they actually put down. Okay, so they're going to put Mothership. And we can instantly kill Mothership with our hero power, which generates them 2 additional minions. The mine is a little bit annoying, but it's alright. Going to grab the tracking here. We could also grab the Tame Beast. Tame Beast is good to get rid of the 3-4. Tracking would have been nice to just dig through the deck a little bit more. We're probably going to have to use the Beaststalker Tavish in this game, which I don't really want to do, but we are going to be able to use it before we actually got to the 0 cost step of the quest line, so it shouldn't matter too much. We're going to grab the improved explosive trap, and we're probably going to grab the ice trap just in case they have any spells. But from what I've seen from Mech Mage, they don't have too many spells in their deck, so I'm not too worried about it. They're going to attack, which gets rid of most of their minions, which is pretty good. And now we have a 0 cost hero power. And then we do have aim shot in our hand to get rid of one of their other minions. And we could also use Tame Beast to get rid of the second minion if we really feel like it. There's the Sneed. Do we have enough mana to Mark Shot plus Tame Beast? Oh, actually we don't need it. We can just use our hero power and then use Tame Beast and then use Deadly Shot. That's actually a perfect way to do this. And then we can just place down the Arch Druid to try to generate any type of threat so we can actually deal with their board. Nightmare is not technically what we want to see, but it is a 0 cost card when we complete our step for our quest line. So when we get the reward, it is just a free 2 damage, free 8 damage if it actually lands on any minion for any period of time. We're going to probably use Mark Shot to try to get rid of the 5-7 here, since I don't want to deal with that for too many turns. Arcane Shot's pretty decent also. We can use our hero power first to see what we actually generate. And we generate another hover. That's pretty good. We're going to use the Mark Shot. And then we're going to grab the Conch Call. We can use the Bunker if we really feel like it here. Or we could use the Kotobane to draw into 3 cards, because we are going to get rid of their minion no matter what. We can also just go face with a Arcane Shot, and this should trigger our questline reward, and hopefully they don't play Mutanus, but most people don't in Mech Mage, and I'd be really shocked if anyone did. Okay, they're going to play Amalgam, which probably is going to give them a very high chance of getting another Colossus minion. They're going to draw 2 cards here. They gain a 10 attack, which isn't really that big of a news. We do have Tavish in hand, so we can get rid of everything on board. There's the Reno Jackson if we really want to place it down now. But we can just put down Tavish, see what we get here. We can use the Nightmare, and use it again, getting another Huffer. Let's see what we get again. Getting a 3rd Huffer. Can we get a 4th? No, but that's alright too. Gonna go face, and then kill the 10-1. And there's not much our opponent can actually do from this position. They can get us pretty low, but we do have Reno Jackson, so we can instantly heal. And I don't think they can put enough damage on board to actually stop us. And their Drakefire Amulet is just going to make it cost 12 instead of 10, which is going to be really funny because they'll never be able to play it. Okay, so they did put up a taunt. But we do have the Queen of Jar in hand, and depending on what we choose, we might just be able to finish them off this turn because of it. Or they could just give up at this position. Okay, so that instantly dies. We can use our hero power again, see what we get. That's probably the worst one we probably could get. We're going to choose the dagger. That's usually the best bet when it comes to this deck, just because it is free damage that you can actually do. We can use our hero power again, getting another hover. Going to attack into their taunt and then just go face and win the game. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So overall, this deck actually performed incredibly well. Though this is a day one deck, so it might not hold the test of time, depending on what the meta actually shapes up to be. But it did show off the power of Reno Jackson and how meta relevant he still can be after all these years, even in standard, while also showing off some of the new support cards that Questline Hunter got in the new set, such as Voyage or Queen of Jara. Both of these are really impactful cards for this type of deck, and is really cool to actually show these off. So if you enjoyed this video, like always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye bye.